7:16 at KPEL. Welcome back to Acadiana's Morning News for Firearms Friday with Glenn Fleming from Acadiana Gun Works in Scott.
Howdy.
We always start this segment with a safety tip, and hunting season is upon us.
It is. Well, it's almost upon us. I think dove season, I don't hunt, but I think dove season already opened, and all the rest of the seasons are coming up rapidly.
You know, I grew up deer hunting in South Texas, which doesn't seem like it should be that cold, but because there's nothing else around, it's
cold.
freezing.
Oh yeah, the wind comes through.
So you have to wear so much on it. You know, we'd always have these old houses, you know, where we go, you know, have the deer lease, and I just remember being so cold.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't even get in the mood right now when it's supposed to be, what does Dave say, 91? Like, really?
See, but that's why I don't hunt, man. The going out there, being really cold, you know, it's early in the morning. Tired. It just probably raining.
Yeah.
It just, it doesn't sound appealing. I did when I was a kid, but I'm not a kid anymore, man. I'd probably get pneumonia, and that'd be at the end of Glenn.
We used to make fun of, not make fun of. We used to joke with my grandpa because he would go and he would take pictures of everything he saw from his deer blind, but he liked to just kind of go experience it. He would bring a gun with him in case something attacked him.
Sure.
But he would never just shoot the deer.
Right,
So he'd come back with pictures, and he would bring a bag of pretzels and a gun, but he would just eat pretzels in the morning, and he enjoyed that aspect of it.
See, I could see myself doing that.
Let's go enjoy it.
Well, you know.
One day, remind me to tell you about my family's first encounter with a border drone. That my grandpa thought he was hallucinating, that it was a UFO. It was in the late 90s, so no one knew about the drone.
Well, he didn't know what it was, so technically it was a UFO.
Yeah. You're right, it was a UFO. So let's talk about property when it comes to it comes to hunting. There are fences and different tree stands. A lot of times you may not know when you cross from property to property.
Yeah, well, you may not. I mean, there may not be fences and stuff, but more to the point, if there are fences or if you are climbing up into a tree stand or doing anything like that, unload your gun before you do it, because it just takes a second.
Yeah.
And if you lean your gun up against a fence and you cross a barbed wire fence and your gun falls and accidentally goes off or something, that could have pretty bad consequences, especially when you're out there in the woods all alone.
Yeah.
Our buddy Jake, who listens to the show, Bernie.
Yeah.
In Ardmore, Oklahoma.
Yes.
Firearms Friday, his favorite segment. Sends in an
cool.
email. Can you ask Glenn to explain what exactly is a short-barreled rifle? How do you know it, other than just a regular rifle? And is it really just a smaller rifle?
Yeah, this is weirdness right here. This is your government weirdness in action.
Okay.
If I have a pistol, say an AR-15 pistol, it's basically an AR-15 with a short barrel and no stock on it.
Okay.
Now, that's perfectly legal. It's a pistol. If I put a bipod on it, still a pistol, perfectly legal. If I put a forward pistol grip on it, then it becomes what's called an AOW, any other weapon. And then now it's an NFA weapon, subject to a federal transfer tax.
Wow.
Now, if I put a buttstock on that same pistol, it's called a SBR, short barrel rifle. And I've done nothing but put the buttstock on it, and now it's subject to a $200 transfer tax to the NFA, or to the ATF, rather.
Wow.
So basically, my whole point is, if you think about changing the appearance of a gun, know the laws before you do, because the laws are so screwed up and convoluted that you might be breaking them and have no idea. I've seen people come in with short barrel shotguns, and they have no idea there's a short barrel shotgun law. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just not well known.
Why would you? Yeah.
So basically, here's in a nutshell. If you have a rifle that's below 26 inches total length, or has a barrel below 16 inches total length, it's a SBR and subject to the taxes and all NFA rules. If you have a shotgun that's below 26 inches total or has a barrel under 18 inches total, it's different lengths. Why wouldn't it be? Then it's subject to the NFA and it's called a short barrel shotgun. And machine guns, of course, are a whole different animal.
Are a whole different thing.
Wow.
I mean, I would ask that you could fit another abbreviation into this.
No, I can fit all kinds of them in there. There's SBRs.
Because truthfully, the only thing else I could add is WTF. Really.
There's people who've been around guns their whole lives and don't know the intricacies of what's called the NFA, the National Firearms Act.
Yeah.
It came along in the 30s due to prohibition and stuff like that. But then you think, gangsters,
Right.
But a lot of it's actually due to different things like suppressors are on the NFA because of poaching.
Wow. It's interesting how things come along.
And that's why, man, I'm telling you, we learn and relearn some stuff every time we have this show.
We'd love for you to join the conversation, too, at 232-1542. Bernie, let's get a couple calls in.
Sir.
If you have questions, comments for Glenn, you're first on Firearms Friday. Go ahead.
That law was first passed in 1934.
Yeah.
And back in them days, people were poor and they wanted to be done some skullduggery. They would saw off a shotgun, or they'd saw off a rifle so it'd be concealable, so when they go do a robbery or something, you know, they could have something that was concealable.
Exactly. Yeah, like I said, a lot of them was due to the prohibitionist guys. Bonnie and Clyde are famous for having a sawed-off BAR, Browning automatic rifle. Really cool rifle, really heavy as hell, but they made it more, compact.
Wow. Oh, my.
But you saw where that got them.
Right. Yeah, that was not a good end for them. Let's put it that way.
Going back to the phones, you're up next on Firearms Friday. Go ahead with your comment or question.
Yeah, all these goofy laws, there's no wonder that most of us are against anything that the government comes up with new laws. Nothing they do makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like the IRS. Nobody knows all the rules, and they don't make sense. That's government, and that's why we need less of it. But we certainly need less gun control laws. They just don't make sense.
I agree with
Thank
you completely. There's so many. There's actually literally thousands of gun laws on the books. And the problem is not that we need more gun laws, it's that they don't enforce the ones that are already on the books.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Biden said himself that they don't go after people who do straw purchases just because there's not enough time. Well, make the friggin' time. Mm-hmm. They broke a law, they committed a felony, go after them.
And why don't we have something that says, for every new law that you add, why don't we trash one that's, doesn't even make sense in 2016, was made for a different time. Yeah. I mean, just different things like that.
Well,
Talk about some of the original ones in 1934.
This is my own personal interpretation on it, and this has happened in some cases. Let me give you an example. There's, if you have a AR-15 pistol, and you have a buttstock and a buffer for that buttstock to put, that you can, actually put on your AR-15, whether it's on there or not, you have committed what's called intent to make an SBR.
Wow.
They can nail you for that. Mm-hmm. They have to prove it, but the burden of proof is on you to prove that you did not have the intent. But normally what happens is they'll get you for something else. I don't know, maybe having an illegal machine gun or, I don't know, whatever, They'll get you for something else. Maybe you dealt some marijuana on the side, and they came in and found these two parts, and they're like, well, we can get you on another charge. Wow. And they can tack on that to your time.
To the other thing.
And that's just my opinion of it, but I've seen it kind of happen that way before. Because, I mean, let's face it, if I have an AR-15 pistol and I have a buttstock, I don't have any intent to put them on. Maybe I just have some parts.
Right.
It's asinine to charge somebody for a crime for that.
Well, you're going to get a quick break in. Coming up, we're going to tell you about an awesome event coming up for the sportsmen in our area. Also, take more of your phone calls at 232-1542. This is Firearms Friday on Acadiana's Morning News. 728, this is Firearms Friday, joined by Glenn Fleming of Acadiana Gunworks in Scott. We'll tell you where you can find him, go harass him, go ask him questions, go pay for guns and things there.
Don't harass me.
Coming up, you happen to have some protection.
I'll cry.
Yeah. All right, hey, so there's an event coming up, the Acadiana Sportsmen's League 32nd Hunter Awareness Day. It's coming up on September 24th, a little bit later on this month in Crowley. It's like a pretty cool event.
Yeah, actually, I'll be honest with you. I learned about this thing this morning, but it really does, man. It's the 32nd Hunter Awareness Day.
You did that on purpose.
I did, didn't I? But it's Saturday, September 24th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. in Crowley at the police firing range. And if you want more info, come by the shop and we'll give you more info because this is a big page of stuff to go over. Yeah. But suffice it to say, it's gun safety, hunter safety for kids, any age. There's archery, there's BB gun shooting contests. They actually have cash prizes for that. There's free food and drinks with hundreds of dollars in prizes and shirts to be given away.
What? That's awesome.
There's all kinds of stuff. Now, this this event does not certify you for hunter education requirement,
Okay.
but I think this sounds really good, and I'm going to be there. So I mean, bring your kids and let them have some fun, and learn
and
some gun safety
understand.
and
Hey,
stuff. Yeah.
here's the safety part.
It's basically, I don't know, non-regulated safety, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll tell you this, as someone, who learned a lot about guns and gun safety from my dad, when he warned me about things first,
Yep.
I really didn't listen about a lot of things. I still had to kind of learn the hard way.
Yeah.
But when someone, if you're a dad, who has a son you're going to bring hunting, or a daughter you're going to bring hunting with you, and you think you're going to teach them the ropes, let someone else
do that.
Let a stranger who is safe, but who they don't know, really teach them that kind of stuff. They're going to listen a little bit more because, of course, my dad would tell me things, be like, but I
You're
know how to
the
use a
parent.
gun. Stop.
Yeah.
I know all this. Stop
Dad,
telling me
you
this,
don't
Dad.
know.
And so that's kind of, I think that's another good thing about
this.
this
Then you find out
event.
later Dad does know.
Yeah, well, we will.
That your dad knows everything.
Exactly. We'll put this up on our website, KPEL965.com. Let's take a couple more calls before we have to wrap up this week's segment. You're next on Firearms Friday. Go ahead.
Yeah, they always talking about banning guns because guns kill people. I ain't never seen a gun in my life get up and kill nobody.
I agree, dude. I agree. A gun is just a tool.
Guns all my life.
Yeah, just an inanimate object, just like a car.
Yeah, very much so,
One more call at 232-1542. Good morning. You're on Firearms Friday.
Good morning. I have a quick question.
Yep.
I own a firearm, and I'm certified to use it. But just some of the little side things that people might not think about. A friend of mine said it's not good to keep a loaded magazine because it might damage the springs. Is there any truth to that?
Well, I'll tell you, man. To be honest with you, I've heard yes and no on both sides of the equation, I guess, for lack of a better word. But I've actually seen magazines loaded up for a number of years, and those magazines, you could literally shake the bullets out. The springs went dead. Now, new generation springs are supposed to be all fancy and space age and really good to go, so you shouldn't have to worry about it. But here's my general rule. Here's what I do. For my home defense gun, I leave a magazine half loaded. I don't load it up all the way. It's a 15-round mag, and I load it up with like 8 bullets, 9 bullets, something like that. Mm-hmm. And does it do any good? Scientifically, I have no damn idea, but it gives me a little warm fuzzy, and I change out the mags once every couple months. So I think that kind of keeps the springs fresh. I as a general rule, I don't load them and keep them loaded to capacity.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. All right.
All right, Glenn. So tell everyone where Acadiana Gunworks is located.
We are located in Scott, Louisiana, at 119 Abigail Row. It's a little bit by the Harley shop, And when you're stuck in traffic on I-10, you can just take exit 97 and come by,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a good idea.
Or give us a call. Our phone number is, what is our phone number? Oh, 337-706-8638. And we have a website, acadianagunworks.com, and you can come by and just shoot the breeze and hang out and learn about the free Acadiana Sportsmen League 30-second Hunter Awareness Day thing going on, and you can buy some guns, and we do kid safety, and we do all. We were like all encompassing.
Just stop by.
Talk about Star Trek, Star Wars, whatever.
That's why. That's the other reason Brett would go.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we checked off all the checks boxes, so you won't be in trouble with Jamie today. We got everything in today.
That's
all right,
right.
7:33. Glenn joins us every Friday, 7 o'clock for Firearms Friday. Anytime you have a question, you can call us or email us. News at KPEL965.com. Coming up, Bernie's got news, weather, and traffic.